Welcome to One on One, the podcast for tips, tricks, and techniques for the ON1 software community. And here's your host, Scott Kelby.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to One on One, the monthly podcast that starts just a little bit late. It starts just a few minutes late, but somehow it's still here. We're going to be talking about ON1 software, of course. That's why it's called One on One. And we got a bunch of stuff to show you. And also, Dylan Kotecki is here, and he's got some really cool brand new stuff to show you on the upcoming, and it's going to be out in, I believe, in October, the new Photo RAW. So we got a lot to show you today. And before we get to that, I just want to mention real briefly that what's coming up next is my Worldwide Photo Walk. It's my 14th annual Worldwide Photo Walk, and you are invited. Hey, that's me. That's me right there. Look at that. That's cool. Anyway, it's me seeing me. It's an inception moment. Anyway, it is a social photography event held all over the world on the exact same day. And so this year it is Saturday, October 4th. Cities all over the world, everyone's walking and having a good time and taking pictures, and there is a competition for fun and stuff, but it's all for fun. It's a social event, and so you meet a bunch of other photographers, you walk for a while, and you wind up at like a pub or a bar or a restaurant, have some lunch, and that's it. And if it doesn't sound like that much fun, it's because you've never done a photo walk. You do it one time and you will fall in love with it. It's a wonderful experience. It's totally social. Go to worldwidephotowalk.com, put in the search and find out if there's a walk near you. And if there isn't a walk here near you, maybe you should be the person to lead a walk in that city. But there's walks all over the world. I hope you'll come and join us October 4th, 2025. Okay, let's talk about what I think is a underused, underheralded, amazing feature in ON1 Photo RAW. And you may have heard about it, you may have seen it, you may have even tried it once, but I don't think you're giving it the love that it deserves. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What is this feature? It's called Brilliance AI, and it does a surprisingly, shockingly good job. All right, so let's go over here, and I'm just pulling up Photoshop in this case, but you can be in Lightroom or Photoshop. It's the same sliders in the same order that do the same thing. I'm in Camera Raw, so it's the same stuff, right? Now, you probably already know that in either Lightroom or in Camera Raw, you already have some AI features that are there to auto-tone your photo. For example, you've got this new thing. This is the latest one from Adobe. It's called Adaptive Color. Let's take this image that I shot in Venice a few months ago. Let's just choose it and you'll see what happens. Okay, it made it darker. It didn't do a whole lot, but that's okay. That was just a test. All right, now you do have an amount slider and you can edit it, but that's it. All right, let's go back to where we were. There's another one, which is just the auto button, which used to be terrible, but it's gotten a lot better. Let's click it. It got a little darker. All right, but okay, overall, it's okay. Let's reset it. Let's go back to where we started. Let's take this, let me open the image, and let's take it over here to ON1, but we're going to open it up in the develop. So in the develop section, so ON1 develop 2025. Let's go ahead and launch it, and it's going to take that image from either Lightroom, if that's where you're working, or Photoshop. Open it in Photo RAW. It has to do its download dance here. The first time you open it, it checks to see if there's any new downloads. Now, what do you have to do to make Brilliance AI happen? Well, as long as you're in the Develop tab, you'll see right up here, Brilliance AI is right there. To turn it on, all you're going to do is you're going to click that little blue button, and give it a second, it'll do its stuff, but it's going to use AI. Let's take a look. Wait for it. Holy cow. It looks like a completely different image. Like here, let me show you before and after. So I'm holding the backslash key. Look at the color. Like all the lighting got warmer. Everything got a completely different color tint, so it doesn't look just like solid blue. That right there is quite an improvement. All I did was click on Brilliance AI. That's it. It's one click. Now, you do have an amount slider, so if you want to crank up the amount, and you can see what that does here. Actually, I kind of like that amount up. But right below it, if you look here in the panel, is an area called Fine Tune. And here you can control the tone amount and the color amount, right? Now, let's go ahead and do that, but I want to point out a little something. I want to thank Jim Nix for pointing this out, because he does a lot of tutorials on ON1 stuff, and I know Jim, great guy, really great photographer, just a very funny guy. He's got a great sense of humor. This has nothing to do with his sense of humor, though, but what he pointed out, which is something I didn't realize. So my default is for my white balance to be set at auto. All right, that's the default. But if instead yours is set as shot, right, you won't have the color amount. The color amount will be grayed out. For you to be able to control the color separately, like you're controlling the tone when you go to find your white balance, has to be set to auto. Now you can go over here to the settings and just change your settings. You can go to your settings and save it as your default. So your default will always be auto. And if you're going to be using Brilliance AI, and I think after this tutorial you are going to be, that's what you want to do. Make sure that the white balance is set to auto. Of course, you can always just choose it like I did. You can just choose it. And then you get a live preview. So daylight, meh. Cloudy, meh. Shades, not bad. Tungsten blue, fluorescent blue, flash. Let's go with auto. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now, besides that, if you click on local adjustments, all right, now it's going to use more AI. So now if you wanted to go and adjust the sky, if you tap on this, you'll see what regions it'll select, either the sky or the water. Let's just do the water. Let's click on water and then click apply. And then you can adjust just that water, making it darker or lighter. So we'll raise it up here. There we go. I'm going darker here to the right. So you have an adjustment. It automatically masks the water for you. You can do the same thing with the sky, with the buildings. Actually, any of these regions, you can do the background, the foreground, the architecture. So if you just wanted to mess with the buildings and stuff, you could, just like that. There's also noise here if you need to add no noise, the no noise AI to it, right? Retouch large faces. There are no large faces. There's nothing really to be retouched. However, I would do a couple more things if I had to finish this off, and I do. Let's go over to effects. All right, I'm going to add a filter. So the first filter I'm going to add is one of my favorite. I'm going to go to vignette. I'm going to go to the big softy. Oh yeah, boom. And it just adds that little edge vignette here. Let's take a look. Just kind of takes the heat off the edges, right? But it's so soft you hardly notice it's there. But it is enough to draw your eye to the center and take some of the heat off the edges, which I think really works nicely. I would also probably go here, and let's go to, well, I happen to like this sunshine one. And it is kind of somewhat of a one-trick pony, but we'll hit sunshine, and then look at the difference. It kind of adds brilliance to everything. Look at that. And now that we've done Brilliance AI and we've done sunshine, I would do one more thing. It's starting to not look like morning anymore. So I'm going to go to filter here, and let's go to tone enhancer, and maybe I'm just going to lower the exposure a little bit to get it kind of in the ballpark. Oh, about right there. Maybe a little more. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let me show you a before and after. Here's where we started, and just with a few clicks, look how far we've come. From there to there. And what did we do? Let's just recap. We turned on Brilliance. Hey, well, first we started a few minutes late. Then we turned on Brilliance AI, and we did do a little fine tuning because we did make the water darker. So we made the water a little darker. It's a long exposure already, but I made that a little darker. And we added that big softy vignette, and the last thing we did was to lower the exposure. Now, if I was really going to finish this image off, to be honest with you, I'd probably add one more thing. I'd go to Add Filter, Dynamic Contrast, and you can just choose Normal, because it adds that little bit of, it's a certain savoir-vivre. But however, I'm in Italy, so it adds a certain pasta to it. So, but look, I'm going to show you here with the split screen. Look at the difference here. In everything, look at this building right here. Look at the sharpness of that building. And when you add that dynamic contrast, it's almost like, super sharpening, but it's not sharpening. It's contrast. But anyway, quite a difference, quite a before and after. And here we go. There's before, there's after. If you're not using this Brilliance AI, kids, you're missing out, because it's really good and it's right there. It's ready for you to go. Oh, hey, lots of people saying hi. Allison saying hi from the UK. Hi, Allison. Say hi to Jeremy. He's my driver when I'm in the UK. And Allison says, Brilliance AI is amazing. Isn't it? Isn't it? It really is really, really great. Ken says, good Tuesday, everyone, from Katy, Texas. Alec is here from Aberdeen. Welcome, Alec. Good to see you. Nanette is here from upstate New York. Tina's here from Oregon. And Jay, hey, Jay, from the tri-state area says, hi, Scott. Good to see you, Jay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Now, standing by right now is Dylan Kotecki. Now, Dylan is, every time he's on the show, I always tell him, I told him before we came on, I always learn something new. I expect to learn more stuff new because I have not fully seen all the features. I got a pre-briefing when I haven't seen them all. Hey, Dylan.
Hey, what's up, Scott? How are you, man?
I am good. I am well. And you're in Oregon, where everything is not hot like it is here in Tampa, Florida, where we're baking like potatoes?
Not as hot, but I guess it's supposed to be 90 today. But definitely not as humid. Not as humid. Yeah, it's supposed to be about 90 today, but definitely not as humid.
Well, Dylan, our high in Tampa is only 86 today.
Oh, wow.
But the humidity is at 1,200%. They can't even measure it. If you drive down the road, people stop and they pour bacon bits and sour cream on you because they think you're a baked potato. All right, Dylan, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you got? Let's see the new stuff, man.
Yeah, so we have the upcoming version of ON1 Photo RAW, version 2026, and there's some really cool improvements to the latest version, but I think the most exciting improvements are definitely in the realm of masking. And so the first thing I want to show is mask layers. So now you can apply multiple masking layers onto individual adjustments or filters. So if you're looking to use a luminosity mask, you can also use an AI mask on top of that to protect a subject or a background, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to grab this photo here. And you'll also notice too, when I start to grab the masking tools, that everything's a little bit different. Just to make it a little bit easier for folks to actually use the masking tools. So if we go into local adjustments here, what we want to do with this image is you can see there's probably a flash right here on the left-hand side, and it just is falling off into the right. And so what we probably want to do is ensure that this lighting doesn't fall off too much, and so that we can see a little bit more of that background region within the scene. And so within this local adjustment section, within add adjustment, there's, we have subject here, which if you want to protect the subject from the mask, you can select that. You can use a background mask to protect the background, so on and so forth. But we have this little plus icon now where you have all of these other masking options as well. So what we want to do in this case is we want to use a depth mask. A depth mask is going to target that first area within the scene, and then it's going to fall off just like the lighting is. But what we can do is we can invert that mask so that it's the opposite, where we apply the adjustment mainly to the back region of the photo. So I'll just choose depth mask here. And once it creates the mask, we'll take a look at it. And so as we look at this mask here, you can see by default, it's targeting that front area because it's the depth of the scene. But we can just go in here and just invert the mask. And now we have that light back there behind our subject. And so rather than using the default adjustment at the exposure darkening, we're just going to lighten the exposure there, pull up on the exposure, and then we've fixed that fall off of light within that scenery there. Yeah. So it just helps to ensure that you're modifying those particular areas that you want to, and you're protecting those areas that don't actually need a modification. Now, my favorite thing about these mask layers is that you can add in multiple layers, as many mask layers as you want to protect subjects, protect backgrounds, you name it. In this case, let's say we want to protect the subject, excuse me, from our depth mask, so that we can apply a subject local adjustment strictly to the person later. We just go into this mask layers section here. You can use this little plus icon. And I'm going to go to subject, and I'll use subtract. Now, as I look at my mask, we've created that depth mask, but we've also removed that local adjustment from our subject. That way, we can go in here and create our own local adjustment for the actual subject itself. So let's go in here to, I believe it's background. I haven't really figured it out yet. Choose background, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's not what we want. We want to invert that. So we'll choose subject. So we'll choose subject here. You can see now that it's targeting the actual subject within the scene. So we can do the same thing we did earlier. Rather than using the dark and local adjustment, we'll just pull up on the midtones, and we can modify that specific area individually rather than actually adjusting the rest of the scene.
Right, it's unaffected. The background
Yeah.
thing that you did is she's unaffected by that now.
Exactly. So now, this is our original, and then we have after.
Wow, that's a lot better.
Yeah, and it's just a really great way to fix the lighting within the scene, especially when you have instances like this where you have that fall off of light, and you have a subject where you want to modify that subject independently of the other adjustments. Really, really helpful for that. Another awesome improvement is with the actual quality of the masks. So if you are especially a portrait photographer that's looking to maybe modify a background or target a specific area within the scene, the edges of the masks have improved dramatically. So let's grab just a portrait image here. We'll grab this one, and it's got an okay background, but let's say we want a lot more of an interesting background behind our subject. So we'll go into layers here. We'll do the same thing. We'll click on this little mask, and just like we were looking at earlier, we have all of these different options. Oops, I always clicked the wrong one. We'll use background because that's going to remove the background. But if we take a look at the mask here, you can see it does a really great job.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah.
Those fine areas of hair. So if you are looking to swap the background behind this particular portrait, it's going to create a much better mask for you, and it's going to be a lot more natural looking. So we'll just add in a different layer here. We'll maybe add in this photo. Something that stays consistent with the sort of overcast look. Let's drag that below. One thing I like to do is I'll bring in midtones.
Where? That's Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then, so you can replace it with any sort of background, and then we'll just add in lens blur to make it more natural.
She's not in Hong Kong, Dylan.
But it looks like she is.
Yeah, yes, it actually does.
So it's a really great way to, if you can see here, you want a better background or improve the background, make it a little bit more interesting. It's an incredibly easy way to do that, and the masking quality has improved just tenfold.
Oh yeah, I would tell you that masking, just looking at that mask you showed us, that's tremendously better. That's a tremendous improvement. Because one of the things that they have is a very wide range of masks, right? They'll recognize a lot of things, but the improvement in the quality of the thing. So it's not the quantity, because they have a great quantity. They've always had a great quantity.
We don't need any more, I don't think.
But now, yeah, they do not. But now the quality is fantastic. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it. I'm really, really stoked on it. It looks really awesome. And last thing, there's a lot of new filters coming to Photo RAW 2026. And I can't show all of them today, but I'll show this one, which I really like. Especially, for a while, I was shooting just wide-angle landscapes for the longest time, especially with our customer base. They love landscapes. But sometimes you'll get this landscape capture where you have this mountainous background or sort of subject in the background, and you want it to be a little bit larger. And I didn't know that these filters were a thing. They're called split filters. Dan, obviously Dan, but he was, huge into landscape back in the day. And I guess they're filters where it magnifies the top half of the scene to make that subject in the background larger. So if we go into effects, we actually have that built into Photo RAW now. So we can grab whatever particular area, just grab it right there. And then we can scale that up, and I can actually position it as well.
That's cheating.
Yeah, hey, we're editing, And then you have, a much larger, interesting background than you did before. And the great thing about it is you can actually modify the transition as needed. So if you need to blend it in a little bit more or less, you can just modify those down here to make it easy to just, again, magnify that background within your scene.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Just one of many new filters coming in Photo RAW 2026.
And do we have a launch date, or do we know basically? I know it's October, but do we know a date, or is
No
it
exact
still
date yet.
top secret?
Still top secret. They haven't even told me. So I don't
Well,
really know.
that's top secret. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan, thank you so much for giving us a peek at what's coming. There's some really cool stuff. I'm really happy to see the quality of those masks go up like that. That's really good because they've always had the breadth, but having the quality, that's fantastic. So
Totally. Especially
high
on the
five
edges,
to them. Yeah, they're always working on stuff there, man. They're kind of in their zone right now. I keep telling them, you guys are in the zone, right?
Totally.
All right, Dylan, where can people go learn more about you?
I'd just head over to my Instagram. It's at Dylan, DYLAN .Kotecki, Kotecki. And yeah, head over to my Instagram. I don't post a whole lot, but that's where you can find some of my work and reach out if you need to.
And where can they go complain about you on Twitter? Isn't that what Twitter's...
Go to On1's Twitter and you can complain.
Isn't that what Twitter's for? That's where you go to rant,
Oh, yeah.
you're unhappy, something bad, All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dylan, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you being here, and thanks for showing us that stuff.
Of course, man.
All right, man. Take care. All right. We got some folks to say hi to out there. Mary Ann saying, hey, from Jacksonville. Good timing. I'm absolutely considering buying On1. Oh, yeah, Mary Ann. It does so much stuff. And plus, you can go back and watch past episodes where we're showing all kinds of stuff. Every month we're showing some new stuff. In fact, I got one more thing I want to just follow up on. Let's see. Connie says hi from South Jersey. All right, Lou's here from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Dave saying hi from Niles, Michigan. Chaz is here from New York City. New York City. And Sam says, hi from a cool and rainy central Pennsylvania where fall has fallen. We're still waiting for it. I'm missing that. I just got back from a week doing a workshop in Paris. And the weather was lovely. It was in the 60s, dipped into the 70s a little. Beautiful day every day. It's always beautiful in Paris. All right. Hey, just two things real quick I want to show you before I turn you on to our photographer of the month. Go back to take a look on my screen real quick. So just want to show you where I mentioned that you could set your white balance for Brilliance AI to auto. So it's always auto instead of showing up as shot. Go under the Photo RAW menu to Preferences, and you will see at the very end here there is a tab right there for Brilliance AI. Just go to Brilliance AI, and it says White Balance Default. Make sure yours is set to auto, and then you will have this extra slider where you can control the color amount of the image. That's number one. The other thing I just wanted to mention, I meant to mention it before, was when you get everything in place. So you saw all the things that I have in place, the Brilliance AI, not the transform. I've got the effects in here. I've got the dynamic contrast, the tone enhancer, a little bit of sunshine, and the big softy vignette. Go to settings and go right down here and choose save settings. Actually, save settings as a preset is the one you want. Save settings as a preset, and that way you can apply this same look with the Brilliance AI built in. Now, it's not going to apply the same Brilliance AI to the next photo as it did to this one. It's going to run Brilliance AI on whatever. In other words, it's going to reevaluate every photo. It's not going to do what it did to this photo. It's going to evaluate your other photo and then apply the tone enhancer, the sunshine, and the vignette. So those might have to be tweaked on a per image basis, but the Brilliance AI is not just going to repeat what it does, it's going to redo it. All right, so I have a keyboard shortcut for you. This is a really easy one. It's really simple, but it's very, very handy. Take a look on screen. You see a whole bunch of stuff, just a lot of stuff. But you know what? You're just a tab key away. You hit the tab key and everything else except for the toolbar on the left kind of tucks out of the way and just lets you see your image. So if you need that interface break where you can just look at the image, it's the tab key. You can hit the tab key to come back. Now, did you notice when I brought the tab key back that the image slid over to the right? If that happens to you, just hit the space bar and it zooms back into place. So tab is what hides everything. Tab is what brings it back. And if for any reason it does not center up for you, just hit space bar and it will immediately center up. All right, so at the end of every show, which is we exactly have 1 minute left. At the end of every show, we like to leave you with a photographer. I got a great one for you today. Let me pull it up here. And the photographer is Vito Tanzi. So I know Vito. Vito's a friend of mine, but he is a wonderful travel and wildlife photographer. Vito travels all over the world, and he's got some absolutely, not only does he have some beautiful, beautiful photos, but his blog posts are great, and you kind of chronicles his travel and stuff. All right, see here? I was here this week. Was there water in the fountains? No, there was not. The fountains were bone dry. They were bone dry, which is kind of, disappointing. Anyway, he's got lots of great tips. His travel guides are terrific. All right, so if you're going to go someplace and you want a travel guide, he's got a travel guide to Paris and to Reykjavik and packing list. It's a terrific site. If you're into travel photography, Vito is somebody that you want to check out his site, but also follow him on social. Let me see if he's got his social. Look at all the places. This guy's been everywhere, but I want to see, maybe back on his homepage, because you got to follow him on social too. Let's see if he's got his icons down here. There they are. The very bottom of the page, you'll find his Instagram and all the rest right there. Look at these. Woo! Nice stuff, Vito. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up. We're only 37 seconds over, but we started a couple minutes late. I think it all works out. I don't know. I feel like it does. Oh, one last thing. Why don't you join me in Sydney, Australia? I have one ticket left to my workshop in November. So it's coming up this November. I have one spot left. We're going to have an epic adventure. It's myself and Kelby One instructor Mimo Madani are both going to be teaching you. It's a group of 12 awesome photographers, and you can be the 12th one. We have just one spot left. So if you want to go join us, go to scottkelbyworkshops.com. That's the site you're seeing right there. Click on Sydney. Join Mimo and me for sensational Sydney. We have an awesome, awesome hotel right in the middle of it all. We've got lots of special, cool, fun stuff planned. And Sydney, if you've never been, it's a bucket list trip, right? Going to Australia, it's a bucket list trip. Sydney is an absolutely wonderful city. It's got great, kind of American, but kind of European-inspired food. Great people. The Aussies are super, super friendly, and they speak English for the most part. They have a couple of different words. Like we don't say every day, like wallaby. I go months without ever saying wallaby. I never see a wallaby. It's the way it is. But we're going to be seeing them while we're there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you come and join us. ScottKelbyWorkshops.com. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Dylan for joining us. Thanks to the folks at ON1. And we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.